Alrighty, believe we're live right now on YouTube. So everybody, oh shoot, okay, hold on just 1 second, guys. I'm tired. I fell asleep technically full on like at. Does it say I'm live? I hope so. And like it says I am hoping. Well, we are going to just I guess get started really. So what this is right here is this is. Let me just clean up these products really quick. This is right here a Peony Commission. I'm working on an art commission right now. And I've been working on it for quite a while. And hey, you know what? I'm back. And I'm glad to be. So, gonna say this right now. I plan on streaming with the exception of tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to work, but for the rest of the summer and really just until January, I plan on streaming twice a day in the mornings and in the evenings. In the mornings, I work on the commission. Obviously, I'm not right now. I'm doing that in the evening. But starting Tuesday, I plan to stream in the mornings, and in the evenings, I will do my animation streams. That is my plan. And I think that should be pretty solid. And I look forward to that. So, hello, everybody. That's all I gotta say right now. I'm sorry I don't have a great introduction. I'm sure I'll think of something eventually. But here we are, and this is something I was showing this on stream yesterday. There's this little tip that was shown in art school, which is that you do like straight lines to warm up your hand. Just ready to make you comfortable. However many really to make you comfortable. And outside of that, really, just that I want to. That's my plan. At this very moment, is to essentially just stream every day and upload the animations. The animations I make. So I really want to start getting into learning how to make music. I honestly don't know exactly how to. But I want to make like more original content. That's the future of this channel. I have this like little poem. I don't know. I've been getting into voice acting actually as of recently, and it's really fun. Genuinely, I honestly really love doing it. I'm so sorry. I'm probably very awkward right now. Oh, this is interesting. But we will adjust. So right now I'm just working on a commission, basically referencing something from 123 RF, thought I'd give them credit, and I'm drawing some peonies right now. That's the title implied. And how have you guys been? I haven't talked to you guys in a little while, so how have you been? I'm hoping to actually be consistent for once. And that's about it. Well, I guess I can give you guys an update. I actually finished my first year of college, so that was certainly interesting. And I won't go back for a little while, which I'm actually okay with, because it'll probably give me some time to, I guess, I don't want to say adjust really, but some time just to like really, I guess just save up, really. That's probably essentially what I'd want to do. And on stream last night, right? I almost want to start this series. I don't know if I'll actually do it because I don't know how much motivation I will have, but it kind of came to mind called like art and philosophy. Like I just kind of talk about some of the philosophy and sort of I guess life stuff, like basically stuff that I believe. Essentially, also I'm so sorry right now. I'm probably incredibly awkward because I'm not entirely sure. Not really sure what I'm saying right now, honestly. But I will I guess you could just say I will adjust eventually. And I think one of my favorite things, I was talking about this last night, and I know I'm sort of repeating myself, but well, first things first, when I have these, I almost just want to like have a conversation with you guys. I just like talking to people. Already, it's hard for me to keep a conversation going, and I want to learn to do that. If I said this before on Twitch last night, I'm probably not going to stream on Twitch, actually. I think YouTube's probably just better for what I'm doing. I know people on Twitch, I guess, don't really seem to watch a lot of art based on what I was seeing. And here's the thing, don't get me wrong, I don't want to do it necessarily like for the views, but I do like to have people in chat, I will admit, maybe that's wrong of me, but I don't know, even just like two, three people is actually just nice to hear and keep the conversation going. And it's I think it's just nice, just like almost like you have friends, just a small little chat, just talking to everyday people on the planet and their everyday lives. Again, I don't know what I'm saying. I really don't. But yeah, that's kind of like the future of the channel, and I want to genuinely do it this time. I think now that I've kind of like gotten more the motivation and everything to start animating again, because I went on there's like this time really from like 2019, really I'd say until like recently, where I just didn't have the motivation to animate, and now I'm back. Now, that's all I ever want to do is animate, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm working on a commission right now, which I'm also really happy to be doing. And okay, and essentially, did I already draw that move? Hold on, sorry, I'm like kind of losing it. Losing it, guys. No, I think it's fine. Okay, but essentially, just kind of just talk a lot. I think a lot of what I'm gonna do now is just streams because just for however long I can. I don't know exactly how long I will be doing them because I'm just doing this on a laptop, and laptops aren't necessarily as powerful as a regular, just computer. But right now in my life, because I don't really have a consistent place that I'm living, I don't really have a good. It's not that would be more of an inconvenience for me to get like a full on computer because I'd have to move it every single time I go to a new place. And like I said, I don't really have a consistent place right now that I'm living. Like I kind of want to get like a place I know I'm going to be living in for like I don't know, like at least a year or something. Like I'm gonna be back home for a little while, yes, but I'm trying to manifest I move out because honestly, one of my fears, no joke, one of my fears is that I will be like 30 years old and living at home. That is a genuine, like that is a legitimate fear of mine. And I don't know if it's a silly fear or what, but to me that just sounds horrifying. And I'd rather not. Also, apologies, I'm like this this right here. This. Ooh, yeah, it's looking. Actually, it's looking fine. It's looking fine, guys. I like it. I think it looks fine. I like how this looks so far. There's that essentially finished this part really, honestly. Oh, that was what I drew earlier. Okay. And so we're gonna. Oh, hold on a second. It isn't. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Okay, that's normal. Okay. Alrighty. So we're drawing a peony right now. This isn't like exactly like the photo, but it's pretty dang similar, I would say. And honestly, I'm perfectly okay with that. So we're actually gonna start down here now. Let's start. Sure. So I'm using this reference photo off screen. I know you guys can't see it. It's by 123 RF, just in case anybody new came in. And I'm not drawing it like exactly, but I will openly admit I'm referencing it like pretty close to the original image. And yeah, I think one thing, and I don't know, so like art commission is something I really want to do. I genuinely enjoy doing them, and I think it's generally like, so I guess I'm technically like, I don't know, self-employed now, but yeah, generally something I enjoy doing. I just gotta get, this is my first art commission really ever that I'm like getting paid to do, and I'm excited for it, and also like not scared, but like it's just so interesting to me now that I've like made it to this point in my art career. Kind of, I feel like early on, like taking commissions. I know some artists like have been doing it for years, and I've kind of just been I'm like 19 years old now, almost 20, and I've kind of just started. But you know what? It's never a bad time to start. And that's generally something I believe. I always believe, honestly, you have until your deathbed, literally, to change who you are, and I stand by that. You have your whole life to change who you are. I don't know. There's this movie, right? That's called I Can Only Imagine. Maybe you guys have seen it. I think it only released in America, so. But essentially, it's about this. It's about the band Mercy Me, and I believe the leader, like his father, was really abusive, but in the end, he truly changed who he was and became like truly like a child of God. And it's genuinely a beautiful movie. I really enjoyed it. Haven't watched it since its release, but I still remember it very well. And that's, I think, when you know you've made a pretty dang good movie. If you know, gosh, when that movie came out, 2016, like 7 years ago, and you still remember it, like yeah, you've done something right. And that's actually something I want to do. I know it's such a cliche for someone in the art field would say this, but genuinely, I would love to just make characters and that can just somehow connect to people or to just bring entertainment during times when they need it, whether they're going through hardship or they just need a break from work, just they just need a break from like the real world. Like any of that would genuinely just, it just means so much to me, and I really do mean it when I say I like seeing people happy. I feel like it's such a corny say, but I mean it. Like I really genuinely, it's just such a nice feeling, and I don't know. I feel like the world not. Sometimes maybe this is unpopular. I feel like I'm missing something. That's totally possible. But for a lot of my life, I've always felt like the world was kind of very pessimistic. As in, I just feel like there isn't a whole lot of. I don't say there isn't a whole lot of positivity in the world, but the world just doesn't really tend to focus on it. And that's the thing. There's so many good people in the world. I know, like obviously, people focus more so on negative things because that's what the news. I think that's a large part of it. Focuses on. Obviously, they're focusing on the exception, not the normality. Yes, they're bringing up the. Yes, obviously, the news is gonna focus more on more spicy subjects and stuff. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I don't know if what I'm saying even is making sense. But even on like so, like people just I don't even know anymore. Maybe I don't even know if I'm making sense, guys, if I'm being honest. I don't know. But it's something that kind of comes to mind upon occasions how people, I don't know, maybe this is just my experience, but I feel like so many people just are pretty pessimistic, and it's honestly pretty heartbreaking when you really think about it. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't blame them, but and it's hard to get out of that mindset. I feel like it's almost like a freaking black hole that like sucks you in, but unlike a real one, you can actually get out of it if you train your mind to. Actually, there's this thing I want to talk about. It's called manifesting, and I know like saying that it's like become like a much bigger thing, but it's a legitimate thing that you can train your mind to do. It's not necessarily an easy thing to train your mind to do, but it's once you get it down, it really is life changing. Um I think one big part of it, every time people talk about like manifesting, I talk about with a lot with my momers. That's what I call my mom. Um I think one thing that really comes to mind is the law of attraction. I think to me that's always been kind of one of, if not the most important part of manifesting. Apologies, hold on. This. Hold on. This needs to be. Hold on just one second, guys. Apologies. I'm like working on something. Apologies, I'm not focused. Sorry, law of attraction. This is probably why people probably draw. And then like this is probably exactly literally exactly why people draw and then do the commentary because they just get so focused on drawing that they can't actually focus on the talking, and I'm trying to over here multitask. Maybe I should do that. I just don't, I'm like, do I have the motivation to do that? I really don't know. I want to. But this needs to be bigger, I think, right here. This like needs to be just a hair bigger, and I think that'll make a pretty big difference. Oh my lord. Okay. So, I used to use Autodesk Sketchbook, and while it technically didn't get discontinued, it's no longer free, and that makes me sad. That's probably why it's so lowly reviewed, honestly, on the App Store. And I'm now adjusting to, not maybe it's the computer, but I'm now adjusting and learning how to use Metabang, which I've heard of, and I tried to use it once before, but my laptop that I got before this, I got a new laptop, like really just freaking did not like it at all. So that was fun, trying to adjust to that. Yeah, I can see why people do more commentaries on, like, I've seen these videos before. I'm loosely considering doing them. But I don't know, there's something about a live stream. Maybe because live stream's just easier. It is, but I think the thing is when you do that, you have more of that sort of consistency. You have more of that, like people know what they're gonna watch. Like when they turn on, they know exactly what they're watching. They know what to expect. And when you live stream, people don't really know, honestly. You open this, you just start rambling. I hardly even know what I'm talking about because I'm trying to, I guess, improvise essentially. That was a big thing. And I'm just kind of sitting here, just kind of thinking about what comes to mind and going off of that, which, don't get me wrong, that's fun to do, and I'm perfectly happy doing that. I just don't know if that's appealing to you guys, or if you guys would rather I, like, make more voiceover work, because I am willing to do that. I don't know if you guys know of any, like, start off, like, with, like, free editing softwares. I know there are some. I'm like willing to invest, just not like at this very moment. I don't know if it's the best idea, but eventually I would love to because the best for you guys. I know. I'm sorry that was really corny, but I mean it. You guys, I actually just want to say a quick thank you. I know it's corny. I know it's gonna sound so corny, so cringy, but to those of you who have stuck around, like since I started like really uploading in like 2000 like 16, and then I haven't really been back on a consistent schedule since. Can I just say thank you that like actually like legitimately thank you so much for that. And I owe you guys something big. I owe you guys so much, and I mean that. And I want to start uploading consistently. And I know I'm saying all this, but I feel like this time with the motivation is truly, truly going to actually happen. This time. I feel pretty dang confident within myself. Also, I keep drawing this way too big. Hold on. Like, I think that's technically about how. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna actually keep it like that because honestly, like, needs to. It needs that. Okay, so. But I think the motivation finally has truly hit me, and I can actually start uploading again. And like uploading consistently again. Technically, I haven't uploaded in a good while, and I think streaming's a really good idea for me to do. While I kind of like get back into animation. I actually started this animation for a character that I'm really passionate about, and um, I want to work on him. I do, and largely the reason why I haven't is because I want to work because I always feel like I need to like work on the commission first and then be like rewarded with animation. I guess I always want to kind of like try to remind myself, like playtime has to be earned. I think that's a very good motto. Not only that, but like here's the thing: when you earn your own playtime, it just feels so much more rewarding. It feels probably like it really does feel so much better. I think when you've just earned it on your own, like because you get that rewarding feeling and that's really something it's something special, honestly. And that really largely why I like sorry, I'm just African. This is why I understand people so much now who like just do voiceover and I should probably do that, but I don't know if I want to. I don't want to promise anything right now, like in terms of that, because I might not, in all honesty, but I'm not against the idea. Maybe I'll try it like once and kind of like go from there, like maybe, like just maybe I could okay. I'm sorry, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Like, maybe things can actually be interesting. And I could like think of an art topic, like of what I would want to talk about. But I feel like I have so many like thoughts that I generally want to share with the world. And I don't say I haven't had a chance to, because definitely the chance has always been there since the internet is, you know, something that you constantly have access to, really. Is there really? I can't really say like, oh, I don't have. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, I do absolutely have access to it. Um, you have access to anything you really want to say, and anything you really want to do. Sorry, I'm being so quiet right now. I'm generally focused on trying to get this done, and right now, this like one leaf is like kind of driving me a little bit crazy. This does not look exactly like the photo originally was, but honestly, I think when it comes to art, it's probably not super worth it. One, I don't really see the problem if it doesn't look exactly. I think that's actually a really big thing that they try to teach you in art school, especially when you're going into the major of 2D animation. Your drawings really don't have to be perfect. But that's like a genuinely difficult thing for me to like wrap my head around because I always try to go for detail. I always try to strive to put as much detail and really make the drawing pop. But you really don't. I mean, like okay, if you're going to illustration, it's probably a little bit different. But for animation, nah, you gotta learn to draw fast. That's a huge thing that they tell you in art school. You need to learn to draw fast, and also the industry hours. Boy, don't those sound fun. Friggin' 15-hour workdays. But you know what? At least you're being productive during all of it. So, back to the law of attraction, which I started talking about, and then I went on a side tangent because that's what conversations do. So it's honestly kind of exciting about conversations. You never know where they're gonna go. And for this one, where it's going to go is it's going to essentially continue talking about manifesting. So, manifesting is again basically manifesting is well it's a pretty big topic but I think the best way for me to sum it based on what I know is basically attracting who you are or attracting what you are really more and what that means is like attracting your success, attracting, wealth. You attract what you are, and that's a very important part about manifesting. So back to the law of attraction, which I think is probably the most important part. Because basically, here's how the attraction works. If you like tell yourself, like act like something has already been done, then the universe listens to that and listens to you, and thus it will bring it almost to you. That's kind of the idea, like your mind. Because here's the thing, your subconsciousness and your subconscious mind, right, does not know the difference between reality and fiction. It only knows what you tell it. And if you tell yourself you are a successful, talented person, you tell yourself every day, your subconscious is going to believe it, and then you will believe it, and it will probably really add to your PMA, as people call it, the positive mental attitude. And that right there alone is super helpful. I'm so sorry I'm going like so quiet. I feel like talking to people interesting. I'm gonna check the chat. I haven't checked that yet. Oh hey. Oh hey. My dirt is on here. Um Bapio, hello. Oh, it's been a little while. I haven't been live on here for a very long time. Thank you for stopping by. Like honestly, I'm so sorry. I didn't look at the chat for a while. I didn't realize some people popped by. Um how are you guys? Honestly, like how are you guys doing? I really hope you're doing good. It's great to hear, Papio, that you are improving your art. That's always nice to hear. Always something to keep on doing. And it's great to see you again. I feel bad. I like want to remember. I can't promise I'm gonna remember who you are. Uh, there's so many people on the internet. So many people that change their usernames like constantly. And sometimes I just forget. I feel like sometimes if I like look at something that you did, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you now. But sometimes it's just a username because either they change it or I just flat out don't remember it exactly. And that's not your fault. That's mine because that's on me for not. I say I have a bad memory. I actually do think I have a pretty good memory, but clearly I'm not paying attention enough, and that's my flaw right there. So I'm considered actually before I considered I was actually live on Twitch yesterday, and my stylist just went out. So oh, there we go. Okay, my stylist does that sometimes. I'm not sure why, and I have been spending way too much time with this one leaf. Hold on one second, please. Hold on one second. Okay. I'm trying to hurry. I don't want to like, because I charge by the hour. I'm trying to not make this person charge for more than they really need to. Um, but yeah. My plan is to hopefully. Anyway, those who stopped by. Wait, hold on. Let me check. I need to check the chat more frequently. So should stop by actually and like look at what the people are doing because I should do that. I should like engage in community. That's one thing that's actually nice about having a smaller like YouTube channel is that you really can just engage with every single viewer, and I love that honestly. Like just having that little sense of community going along that you can interact with. I love it honestly. So going back to so the law of attraction essentially. So here's kind of like how you do. You kind of tell yourself like I am this, I am that, like and kind of like oh my lord have mercy. I'm so sorry. This is why I really should do voiceovers and talking about kind of do like art and philosophy. That's really what I should do because clearly this is difficult for me to do. How long should I live stream? Maybe I should live stream for like I've been streaming. I stream, like, ideally, I should probably stream. I think, like, I was actually Googling it out of, like, curiosity what Google had to say. And, like, 3 hours, and honestly, that's pretty doable. I don't really see why not. I'm kind of hoping to actually finish this in 3 hours because I keep getting freaking distracted. Which, hey, you know what? We're having a nice conversation, so I don't care too much. Maybe the commission I shouldn't like with the animation. I guess don't get me wrong, animation's still time consuming, but once you draw the first frame of like the scene, I think it. I feel like at least in my experience, you kind of consistently get faster since you have that one frame to constantly like reference off of with the like onion skin. Essentially, which allows you the onion skin is so important because the animation actually allows you to see the previous frame. Like, the animation I started, it's for a show. I'll probably talk about it, not on this live stream because I want a thing to talk about on the next live stream, which I don't even know when. Well, I know when it's gonna happen. Tuesday, like I said, I do have to work tomorrow, so it's not gonna come out this. Not gonna come out tomorrow. I could technically record though in the morning, so I could maybe do that. I don't want to promise that I will because I might want to just like I feel like I get really comfortable with these streams. I don't get too comfortable. Stream after work though. It'll probably be later, like 10 o'clock, my time, EST, as people say. But I could totally do that. Like honestly, I have no reason for why I couldn't. Um, Unless I'm too exhausted. But just like relaxing. Because drawing, I really mean this. Drawing really does take a lot out of you. That's good. Also, I really kind of hate how that looks. Do I? Maybe I don't hate how it looks actually. Um. I have to shrink it like a lot. That's one problem. I have a tendency to draw like really freaking big, and I don't know why. Hold on just one second. Also, I don't know if anyone knows on Medibang how to like just adjust the flower, like just like one section. Hold on just one second, guys. Hold on. Hold on just one second. I think it's gonna go black just for a second because I still haven't figured out how to do this in Medibang. I don't know. Hold on just one second. I gotta figure something out. Hold on, I think it's gonna go black just for a second. Okay. Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna bring it right back up. Hopefully, I will be able to do that. There we go. Yep, Medibang brings all that stuff. Okay. Okay, it's back up. Apologies about that, guys. I still haven't figured out because every time I like go to like transform, I can probably look it up. I haven't like quite Googled it too much yet, but there's like an actual way. Sorry, I scratched my background. Make sure everything was okay. Um, because it immediately like when I go to like change something up, it like doesn't. I could say it doesn't work, but essentially what ends up happening is I end up just moving the already selected area once I like put a square down instead of like actually adjusting to it, and I don't know why that happens. And I wonder. It's probably a pretty simple fix. I just have to actually, commit to it. Is actually have to, work on it and fix it. That's a bit more like it. Yeah, okay. Like this. Like I'll apply to this and then once I go back, I'm gonna have to fix again. And also, um, so okay, that looks way better. Gotta say that right now. See, like stuff like this, I just want to learn how to draw smaller. I guess that's one reason why I like digital art because I don't really have to worry too much about it. I can just like shrink it. And I don't know why I always have a tendency to draw so big. Like, I guess in some cases it's okay, but typically, like for the most part, you'd rather not. But it's hard for me. I don't know why. Some people are like really good at drawing small, and I'm like, I wish. But I guess manifest it, and this is here's an example right now. I say over I'm grateful that I'm able to draw very small, and there you go. That's how you manifest. And you just kind of say that over and over to yourself again, and eventually your subconscious will believe that's true. And there you go. Obviously, you also have to put the effort into it. You can't just like this. Like this is way too big, and I think I need to hold on. Because I can tell like disproportionate. I just have to draw this one area like a little bit smaller. Um, so about like right here is where it should end about. I think I should extend this. I keep extending this out. This is why I love digital art because you don't have eraser marks. Because the amount of eraser marks I get, whew, yeah, no. What really matters is just like the person who I give this commission to is happy. I guess that's like really the most important thing. And if they like it, then that's really what matters. I'm trying to finish this by tonight because it's totally possible for me to. I don't know if I'll finish it on stream, but I could finish it on I'm hoping to finish it tonight at least. Like this is like pretty, I think that's pretty okay. It's probably the best I'm gonna get. That doesn't look exactly though, like technically before it looked better, but at this point, I don't know how much I really care. Really shouldn't care too much. Can't care too much about it. Hold on, except I'm caring too much about it. I'm gonna worry about that later, actually. Just worry about it later, like it's what I'm gonna do. Okay, here's what we're gonna do just to start off. I'm gonna worry about this actually. Oh no, I'm gonna keep that there actually for now. But right now it's kind of making me mad, but here's what I am gonna do. Is about right here when the leaf starts off. And I'm going to draw it. Okay, so hold on just 1 second. So, some people can draw and multitask. Apparently, I'm not one of them. But I guess it shows I'm showing full dedication to this art piece. Because I really am trying to. Really am trying to. Once again, started to draw it a little bit too big, so hold on. I think I know of a way to like hold on. So let's see if I can do this. So it's about right there. Like right. And then it does this and this and this. And there you go. Um, so about there. Hold on, let me see how long I've even been streaming. The streaming is probably like not. I think I really should do voiceovers. I think that'd just be so much more interesting for everybody if I just did that. Now that I think about it, because at the moment, like I mean, we've only been streaming for like, not that long, only about 40 minutes, but my laptop seems to be doing way better this time around. And I feel bad because I've been like going so silent because I'm trying to focus on this, but then it's like boring for you guys. And that's probably what I should do is simply record and edit. I don't know how long that will take. I know it depends on the video, but I know some videos take a while than others. Like I know some people spend about 8 hours editing. There are people who spend like longer than that. Like Lord, like when I say some people record something very long and then like after about like I wouldn't surprise me there are people out there who spend like 15 hours a day just editing videos, so 8 hours really isn't that all that bad given how long some other people take. I don't know if I'll probably just upload this raw because I want to actually make this interesting. And right now, I'm not really doing such a good job about that. But essentially, I think once I like start talking, well, I think during the animations, once I like start talking about those, I think I'm gonna get really passionate, feel like fully immersed within the world of which I'm creating. I know it's so bizarre and kind of intimidating going to art school because before you go to art school, I feel like you feel like this like unique like little butterfly, like oh look at me, I want to make my own show, nobody else here does it. And then you go to like art college, and literally every single one, not everyone, but most people essentially have the exact same dream as you do, and it's intimidating. And at first, that might seem like it's way too like overly competitive, but the truth is that's actually not necessarily the case. It may sound like it at first, but it's really not. I was actually talking to somebody who I don't know if they have their master's degree yet, but regardless, they have been there for, I believe, longer than me. They've actually gotten to some of their 2D animation classes, which I haven't gotten into yet. Um, they were telling me, like, just how, like, more brutal, not brutal, but, like, what's the word? But how, like, the animation studio really is not what you think. The animation industry is really not quite what you think it is. Like, obviously have fun. But here's the thing, obviously you're not everybody wants to make their own show, but here's why it's not as competitive. It's because unfortunately a lot of shows get canceled because yes, people want to make their own show, but people don't fully realize how difficult it actually is to make your own show. And then they start the process and the next thing you know, they have no interest in making the show anymore. And then the show gets canceled because the person who supposedly, I mean, they still wanted to work on it, but like, isn't there anymore to guide the people. And it's honestly genuinely really sad to see so many shows canceled, but I guess it does make it, you know, less competitive in that regard. Yes, whoever I guess just like any industry, whoever is willing to put in the most effort is the one that's eventually going to make it the furthest. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking like, "Oh, I can do that. I'm going to put the effort in," but you know, I don't want to say like I think it's going to be more than they think it is, and I'm like trying to assume it to be like really brutally hard and stressful. Like it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's probably going to be another thing is that I've learned is that you don't have as much control as you think you do. Like there's so many things that are going to be changed for your show. Yes, it's yours, but there's probably going to be a lot of things that are changed that you don't have control over. Um, and that's just part of the industry. Like you just kind of have to suck it up. And like, if you want the show to be made, you're going to have to accept the sacrifices. And who knows, maybe that's another reason why people make their when people try to make their own show, that it gets canceled, because it's not, people try to make so many changes to it that they're no longer happy with it. And I get that, don't get me wrong, and it is sad, which is why, even when you're a director, like, this is one reason why art school doesn't intimidate me, because I used to think having an entire script written for something was super impressive, but I guess it still is, but it doesn't feel that impressive when you're like in art school. It's like, oh, I wrote this, oh, I wrote this. Yeah, every single freaking person has written their own story and their own OCs, and it's kind of scary just how many there are out there. Like, yeah, I have my own characters, and yes, I will admit I would like to make my own show, but I don't. And everybody, like, wants to own their own studio, because of course you do. But I think you have to also keep kind of like an open mind. One, you're probably not going to start that way. I'm sorry, but, well, you're most likely not going to start off with your own show, making your show. You're probably going to start off working in a studio. And here's the thing, I don't see that as a bad thing. In fact, once I get an animation job, I genuinely, I would want to work for, like, on a show that's like more new and kind of obscure, because it feels like you're watching somebody take off. Like, you're helping somebody start off their career. And like I said, nowadays that's super big with how many shows really, like, truly get canceled now. It's depressing, but that's just kind of how way things are. Uh, the way things are. Lord, I can't talk. Again, it's scary, but that is how it is, and that's like essentially something that you're going to have to accept when you enter the art industry, is that a lot of things aren't going to go your way. A lot of things, even when you're directing your own show, I think a lot of times things are changed. And no, you're not going to, once you first enter a studio, no, you're the new person. They're not going to necessarily, you're not going to have very much authority. You're not going to become a director immediately. Like, it takes time. All that stuff takes a lot of time. Yes, with the internet, you can get very lucky and you can essentially start off that way, but I hate to say this, I wouldn't, like, fully count on it. Don't get me wrong, you absolutely can still make your own show. It's totally possible. It's just you have to be willing to potentially make some sacrifices. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are plenty of shows out there that almost seem exactly like, and kind of appear just about exactly how the writer originally intended it, but I don't know how often that really happens. I don't know enough about the industry. I haven't really explored it enough to really say. And I'm gonna say right now, seeing everybody have their own Cs is actually really intimidating and kind of scary to me. It's also kind of depressing, because I know that not a lot of them are gonna probably make it. Because if they all made it, oh lord. Because if they all made it, then if they all made their own show, then only some of those shows are actually going to be able to remain afloat. Because you can't have all of those shows have the same success as SpongeBob and Simpsons, because at that point success is just kind of redundant, I feel like. Because if every single show was that popular and reaches that sort of success, then it almost doesn't really matter anymore, because it's like, well, every show can do that, everybody can do that, everybody has done that. So it kind of devalues it in general. No, I don't know exactly how you land a director's job. I don't know how you do that. I wouldn't surprise me if, one, you probably have to work for the company for a very long time. Two, you probably are gonna, like, start off working on more so like like, I think the director of Turning Red did this. Like, she did first she actually directed a short film, the, I believe, Bao, the one that played before The Incredibles 2. And I will openly admit, I loved Turning Red. I want to say that right now. Turning Red, actually, which is what she eventually went on to make, is probably, at the moment, one of my favorite Pixar movies, if not my favorite, although Ratatouille is forever going to have a special place in my heart. I didn't really like Bao that much. It was more just kind of disturbing to me, but maybe that's just because of my upbringing, most likely. Because I do know, I was watching a review from Turning Red that, like, the difference between Western and Eastern audiences on that movie is so drastic. It really is so bizarre and kind of, I don't know. Like, I don't know, I liked it, and I'm sorry. I'm from the West, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's plenty of other people who did from, this general geographical area who enjoyed it very much, and I agree that it deserved better. It absolutely did, but I love Turning Red. And here's the thing, I don't think there's anything like objectively wrong with it. I think it just didn't really do it for me. Like when I watched it, I more just kind of felt creeped out and disturbed because she literally eats her child. And I say this, and it's kind of really ironic that I'm even saying this actually because of the character I'm working on is also pretty also is doing something that's pretty disturbing. So who am I to talk? I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe I should rewatch it. I know like it's kind of symbolic. I don't think she like literally ate her child, but I don't know. I'd probably have to rewatch it. But essentially, again, I don't know how uh popular of an opinion that is. I don't know how unpopular of an opinion that is. Also, I feel like I'm not making a whole lot of progress. My phone keeps going off. I'm so sorry. You probably hold on. Let me get your phone. Do not disturb. Um, to let people know I'm a streaming. How do people draw small? I'm gonna work on that. That's like the big thing that I have to like work on. I guess like part of it is like not adding as much detail, and that's like really important to me. But like, you really don't need to add as much detail like I'm adding. Like you really don't. And everything, because then the picture is probably just exhausting to look at. Like people will look at it and be like, "What the frick?" That just looks a little bit weird. Hold on, looks a little bit on the weird side. Hold on, just 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'm so close. I'm like so close. I might have to I said I like want to draw the commissions, like on screen, but I may not be able to do that because I clearly have a really hard time drawing and live streaming talking at the same time, so perhaps I won't. Regardless, I'll post a final picture on my Instagram, same username, Irish Mouse McCall. So I'll post a final picture there, but man, I'm like not doing I'm not doing so well with this. Not doing so well with like actually, you know. hold on. So I know I haven't really been streaming for that long, but I may have to say maybe you should stream for way longer, but I think with this one I may have to cut it short because I need to actually get work done and it's just very difficult for me. To everybody who joined, thank you so much. Genuinely, it means a lot to me. Even if you just stop by for a second, it's awesome to hear. It's awesome to see you guys join. And genuinely, thank you so much. And honestly, have an amazing rest of your day. Every day is worth celebrating for, cause well, it's the only day that we're ever